Alright, how's everybody doing out there? I want to show you all the issue that's very popular with these F150s. And what we're looking at is the clutch pedal assembly here. Put the clutch pedal down here. And it's got this little pivot up here, which is this piece that goes through this clutch rod. And let me show you all what's happened. This is a very popular thing. If we take our clutch pedal, just push it down, and we'll look back up. As I'm pushing it down, I'll show you all what's going on. Alright, see how I'm pushing that? And then we actually push it all the way, and then it actually starts engaging the clutch. But that's how much play it's got as of now. And if you look at it, it'll focus. Alright, now you can really see it. See how much play that's got? And if you look at that clutch push rod, it's worn into it. See how it's worn right over in here? I can see it. See that? So it's actually starting to wear into this clutch push rod. This is for the clutch master cylinder. And if we look at our little pivot here, I mean half of it's gone. That's what's going on here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try and address this and fix this, because the one thing that usually always happens is the original style clutch push rod right here, it used to be plastic. And what would happen is this whole end back here that came out was all plastic, and it would break. And then you pretty much strain it wherever you're at. Unless you get lucky and you're driving along and you're like in, fifth gear or something. If you're going down the road, you can still shift it. But I had one break on me one time, and I wasn't able to get it in gear to get back home. So I want to address this before this happens again, because this has already done happened before. And we're going to take and get this little bracket up here out. You got this big nut up here you got to pull out, and once you take that out, you got to pull this bracket off here, and then we're going to get back up in here. And this is actually got splines. This little pivot that goes through has got splines, if you can see that, and it's got splines up here when you take that nut off. But we're going to pull that off, and we're going to grind this little pivot out. Now I'm going to put a grade 8 bolt in there and put a couple washers and nuts to give this some strength and to take some of the slop out, because that's awful. I mean, if you really look at the bottom, I can really see it. Just look up in this area right in here. See that? That's bad. So we're going to fix this and get this bracket out of here, so I can take and grind that pivot out and get a grade 8 bolt and a couple washers and get a nut and put on there and kind of strengthen that up a little bit. And then we're going to have to address this clutch push rod somehow, because I don't like it. That's not good. Because what's going to happen is we're going to end up going down the road, and it's going to break, and I'm going to be stuck wherever I'm at, and I don't like it. But if we take our foot here, see, that's why it was sticking like it. See, notice that? See that? I don't like it. And of course now it's actually engaged, but we're going to fix that. That shouldn't be like it. That's like way too much play. And that's why, because the clutch itself works fine, but we're going to fix this pedal here, because I do not want it to break when I'm going down the road. See that? So we're going to address that. I don't like it. And they actually make a kit where you can change this end out on that clutch push rod so that it doesn't wear out ever again like that. The only thing I don't like about these trucks is it's got the slave cylinder internal, which means if it ever goes bad, which I've had happen before, you get to pull the whole transmission out pretty much. See how this slave cylinder, it's internal here, that's what this line is for. It's up inside here. And you have to pull this whole transmission out to get to it, which sucks. But this being a two-wheel drive, it's not as bad. Hopefully not. Oh, okay, I see what they did on my fuel lines here. Sorry about that, I was just looking at these fuel lines, so they must have used to go down here, I guess. I don't know what they got going on here. I know they bypassed this front tank somehow. Is that a plastic tank? No. It's metal. And of course it's got a hole back there. That's why it's bypassed. The tank needs to be replaced. Guessing they took, it looked like they took tubing and just put it, 2 pieces of tubing in here to bypass it. That's what it looks like. Oh, we got that line tweaked. I don't know why they did that. Anyway, this video is not really about that. We'll get to that in another video. And of course they leave the old line on here for some reason. I don't know why. They just didn't take it off. Somebody's replaced the slave cylinder at one time, which is really good, thank goodness. And of course they just leave the old clutch master cylinder line on here, which I'm going to take off. That's the only trouble when you buy something used, you don't know what's been done. It's a newer fuel filter. But I want to take and address this clutch pedal issue because I want to fix that because I just don't like that. I guess it does have a little bit of rocker panel rust. Dang, this truck's not that old. My 78's not rot at all like that. What about the other side, mate? Huh. Anyway, I'm going to address that. Because I just don't like it. Because vet brakes on, man, I'm, kind of far away from home. I'm pretty much up the creek. Oh, a little update. Oh, in the previous video, I was talking about this radio where I couldn't get it to change stations. I fixed that issue. I took and unhooked the battery and left it unhooked like overnight and hooked it back up, and it reset this radio. So now it scans like it's supposed to. Now I'm picking all kinds of stations up. So I don't know what was going on with it. Like it got stuck, or I don't know exactly what happened, but since I unhooked the battery and rehooked it back up, now I'm getting all the stations like I'm supposed to be. So hopefully that'll be fixed now. But I'm going to get this clutch pedal bracket out here. Way up in there, that big nut up there. I'm going to pull it out, pull that bracket off, and grind that pivot out where that rod goes onto it, and put a grade 8 bolt on it, and maybe a couple washers, and hopefully that'll strengthen that up and get rid of some of this play, because I don't like it. It's about ready to break eventually. I know my uncle, he had a 95 F150, and his had that original factory plastic in there, and it broke, and he pretty much left him where he was at. But he ended up getting lucky and he just put it in gear and started it while it was in gear, which is kind of hard on it, but you know, you gotta get it home one way or another somehow. But I'm gonna fix that because I'm just not comfortable with that. And once we get that straightened out, I think it'll be pretty good. Oh, this truck does have that. That's for the seat belts. I can't remember if it had it or not. Huh. Ain't that something? Okay, Ford, and this is one of the best designs Ford ever did. Not really. That's why I like my Chevrolet trucks. You don't have that issue. But I just wanted to make this little video here. We're going to fix that. And I'm going to pull that out and correct it because I don't like it. Because if it breaks, I'm pretty much stuck wherever I'm at and I ain't got no way to shift. I mean, if you're going down the road, you can shift it, but either way, I want it fixed. I want it fixed right. And after I get that straightened out, I'm going to look at this tank. And I know it obviously needs a new tank, but I want to look at them fuel lines and see what it's going to take to get this tank straightened out. Because I'd like to have this truck fixed. I want everything working. Because that's the whole reason why I bought this truck. Because it's newer and I mean, it's not the best shape. It's got a dent right here. But I want everything working. I don't want none of this stuff where nothing works. I want it right. But that's where we're at. I got to look at these tires a little bit closer, and they're definitely not the best of shape. This one's not too bad, but it's pretty dry rotted. Hard to catch it on camera. There you can see it. That's not dirt.